This week's podcast, I had the opportunity to sit down with the dynamic Dana Sidberry, minority female entrepreneur. She is a mover and a shaker in Charlotte, and I can assure you the best is yet to come from her. Sit back and enjoy.
Charlotte in the Know, hosted by Adrienne Biddle, reporting on influential people, news, entertainment, and events pertaining to the city of Charlotte and nationally. Okay, Charlotte, it's time to be in the know.
All right, fam. Today I'm being joined by a cosmetologist, volunteer to many nonprofits, relationship mentor, speaker, TV personality, bails bond woman, marketing and public relations entrepreneur, Miss Dana Sidberry. I appreciate you joining me today, ma'am. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Now, after listing all that, I feel like I got to take a deep breath and actually get my breath back together, actually touching on all the things that you do on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Take a breath in because it's a lot.
all right. Well, let's get into what led you into some of those professions. How did all that come to being, and how did you become being an expert in so many different things?
Okay. Well, let's start with cosmetology.
Okay.
I am a lover of the salon atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been in salons, with my aunt, not necessarily with her doing hair, but just always keeping my hair done.
Yes.
And I've always enjoyed that atmosphere. I'm a people person, so I decided to go into it. Even in hair school, cosmetology school, I knew that I was not going to be a hairstylist.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to obtain my license so I can make sure that no matter what happens, I still always have something to fall on.
Absolutely.
I can always do hair. As long as there's people on this earth, I'll have job security. So that was my thought process. As far as marketing and PR,
Mm-hmm.
I've always done marketing even before I realized I was doing marketing. I come from a family of entrepreneurs,
Mm-hmm.
and they all have businesses, and they will all ask me to do this, Dana, whatnot. And even in high school, I was in DECA, and in DECA, there was an opportunity for us to talk about marketing and things like that. So, always been into marketing. Let's see what else. But bail bonding, that is a family business. My mom had her own bail bond company when she lived in Texas.
Uh-huh.
My uncle has his own bail bond company here in Charlotte. So as long as I can remember, I've been around bail bonds business. So naturally, I would get my license to do that and help out the family. And yeah. I had to take a deep breath on that.
Now that's kind of interesting, because being that it's a family business, and being a bail bond woman, did you have a passion for that too, or did you kind of feel like the need to actually go into the family business?
Well, I think more than anything, it was to go into the family business and to help my family.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather instilled in us in always having a trade to fall back on. If we wanted to go to college, it was fine. He didn't really push college, but he definitely pushed a trade.
Yes.
So I just looked at it as, a trade, and it just so happens to be my family business. So if they needed me, I'm there for my family. And I'm one that I love to help people, and that's a way of helping people. Sometimes the situation is not a good situation, but you're helping someone in it. So
Absolutely. Now, I guess with you actually talking about your family and everything, this might kind of actually piggyback off this next question that I'm going to ask you. With you being a successful Black female entrepreneur, what actually drives you to be and continue on to be successful like you are?
That's a good question. What drives me? Well, I do it for my son
Yes.
and my late husband, and for my family. They
Understood.
definitely drive me. Like I said before, my grandfather, who was a fan of trades and entrepreneurship, just instilled me to follow that road. And naturally, because I'm an entrepreneur, I do have the opportunity to be flexible in my scheduling. I'm able to make my schedule. I'm able to be there for my son and to you know, participate in school, volunteer at school, go and have lunch with him. You know, I'm able to live my life freely and not necessarily have to ask someone to take time off, you know, and go in late or, you know, whatnot. So that's what fuels me. And I'm grateful that, you know, to God, of course, that I
Yes.
have the opportunity to be able to do the things that I do.
Nice. Now let's touch on a little bit of your marketing and PR profession. What would you say is the thing that actually makes you successful in it?
What makes me successful in marketing and PR is actually being able to meet people where they are and to understand that the businesses that I work with,
Yes.
it is their baby. I work with small businesses which most of the time don't have a budget for me, but being able to show them how much we can help them and giving them the opportunity to trust me with their business
Yes.
and to trust me, period. Because a lot of people don't realize when you have a business and you have someone that's here to help you, you're very much naked, you know, for lack of better terms. And having someone to help you, that means that they're able to see all of the inconsistencies, all of the vulnerabilities, all of the issues that you have in your business. So I think that is what we bring to this table. That's a strength of ours. We find different ways to market our clients and, you know, different opportunities to get them out to the public, and they really appreciate us.
Okay. All right. Well, I know that that's a competitive field that you're in, and would you say that is it more harder for you as far as in comparison to your male counterparts by you being a female and being successful in what you're doing? Do you see like a difference as far as how people approach you as far as business?
Well, um, it okay in marketing and PR. Actually, it's female driven.
Okay.
I would like to say that majority of the people that are in this industry are female.
Okay.
But when it comes to some media opportunities, it's more or less harder because I'm African American.
Understood.
Not necessarily because I'm female. And because sometimes, and I say this not to be disrespectful, but it's more or less the people that are in the industry that have made it a joke. So they don't take us seriously. So we have to work hard being an African American female that works with smaller businesses, you know, that are predominantly African American businesses. That's where the challenge comes in at.
Wow.
And when we talk about male driven issues, ego, that's more or less entertainment industry. And I did, you know, come across quite a few incidents there, but I don't really dabble in nightlife and entertainment as much anymore.
Okay.
So I don't really have those issues that much anymore. Every now and again, I will come across a man that, you know, doesn't want to listen to me and wants to work with a male counterpart. And, you know, I'm usually good at seeing through people. And
Yes.
when I see that right away, I don't want to work with him either.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I appreciate the breakdown with that.
Yes.
Now, with kind of again piggyback off from the information that you just now provided to me, you
Okay.
said that the marketing in the field that you kind of deal with right now is more female dominant. So, Is there a camaraderie with your colleagues in that particular field? Like, for instance, I just seen you as well as some other public relation experts on the cover of a recent Urban Times magazine.
Shout out to Urban Times.
There you go. There you go. So with that being said, do y'all have like a camaraderie? Do y'all kind of support each other, or is it kind of cutthroat, or what have you?
Honestly, in the PR world here in Charlotte, we actually do work together. Especially me and a couple of other young ladies. We really do have really good relationships with each other, and we find opportunities for our clients. And if we know of another person in the field that has a client that can fulfill the need, or has that service, then we will reach out to each other. We partner, and so we do a lot of work together. I don't believe in competition, simply because nobody can do what I do like me. So the fact of me working with another PR girl or another marketing girl is not a problem. Most of the time they know their lane, I know my lane. I know my strengths, they know their strengths. And I'm not a person that's going to try to take on everything just to save face.
Yes.
I don't have to do that. So I'm perfectly fine with saying, hey, I don't have that resource. Hey, I don't have that opportunity, or I don't know how to do that. I don't mind that. So it's all good.
All right. Well said. Now, I was told through the grapevine, and you probably know who the grapevine is,
Oh my.
that you had a very influential mentor in college, a professor of yours. Would you care to expound on how that professor actually helped further mold you?
Which one? I had two.
Oh, well, let's talk about the two then.
I had two.
Okay.
I went to Strayer. Shout out to Strayer.
Okay.
I like to tell people, that's adult school, big school. One of my business professors, Mr. Zeno Edwards, was very influential in my marketing and business background. He was always very, arrogant.
Okay.
And very cocky.
Uh-huh.
But he knew his stuff. And so, I won't tell y'all how long I've been out of school, but just say we've been friends ever since. And he came to my wedding. We talk holidays. He just put out a book. I wish I could remember his book name right now, but Google Zeno Edwards.
Okay.
And it'll come up. So he's been awesome. But another professor is Dr. Elaine Stevens.
Dr. Elaine Stevens.
So I'm not sure which professor was talked about, but Dr. Elaine Stevens has also been very instrumental in my business as well. I love her and how she talks about relationships. I learned a lot from her in school. She was my what do you call it? Psychology.
Okay.
Psychology teacher, and at one time she really had me thinking that I needed to major in psychology.
Really?
Because I loved it so much. She really taught me a lot about people and just how they think about things, and how they demonstrate what their needs are and how they fulfill those needs. And I really learned a lot with Dr. Stevens as well. So both of them were very instrumental.
Well, it sounds like you kind of implementing that in the marketing realm anyway, with you being able to kind of read what, what some potential clients may want. And I can see how that kind of may tie into your success as well.
Thank you. You have to be able to read people, and it'll take you far, when you sit down and actually talk to people and learn their story, which in PR that's what we have to convey, is the story behind whatever a person is doing. So you have to be able to read people. Absolutely. You'll know if they shitting or bullshit, whichever one.
Yes.
Excuse my language.
It's okay.
You'll know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, okay. Now, at the very beginning of this podcast, we listed so many things that you do. that you got your hands in. You also mentioned that you was a widower and that you also have a son. My question for you with this one is, how do you kind of manage both family as well as your work time?
Oh my goodness. So let me tell you about this.
Okay.
Scheduling is everything. I do a lot of scheduling. I do a lot of planning. I have a 12-year-old son that is very active in soccer, and I do a lot right now. Currently, I support about 9 clients. That's 9 other businesses.
Wow.
So scheduling is always key.
Yes.
I love my family and I love to be around them. So again, scheduling is key.
Listen to that, fam. Put your schedules together and
Yes.
follow them, stick by them.
Definitely.
I hear you with that.
Let me show you my schedule right now, as a matter of fact. I know y'all can't see the schedule, but let me show you.
And I try to give a good description of what I'm seeing, fam.
Let me show you this.
Okay. Oh my gosh. I mean, literally, it's like every day is something in there.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, it look like Christmas every day. Literally. That is impressive. And you make yourself stick by that.
I do.
Yes.
I have to. For example, today alone, I've been to 4 or 5 different activities between the time span of 11 to 4. And that's not included this interview.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh,
So
if I can only develop time management skills like that, I'll be a better person.
it's time management, but it's vitamins. I
Yes.
take vitamins every night
Okay.
for energy.
I'm gonna have to implement that in my diet then.
Yes, definitely.
Now, touching on your son, and I mean, he looks like he has a great mother, and it looks like you're a superb role model. Now, what would you have, when it's all said and done, instilled in your son by the time he grows up? Is there anything in particular that you want to see from him, or that you're actually trying to guide him to be?
Thank you for those compliments first.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You know what? I'm actually trying to instill in him hard work, the art of the grind, and the importance of family.
Yes.
His father instilled the importance of family and being available to your family. So that hasn't been a hard thing to do with him. As long as he could talk, he's been, what are we going to do with my family? Or, it's always family, so that's not hard. But right now he has a little lawn service.
Really?
And he maintains 3 yards.
Oh my gosh.
He charges $20 a yard, and they make sure that he cuts their yard, twice a month.
Nice.
So that's some good pocket money for him.
Absolutely.
And I'm teaching him about budgeting. I think it's very important for a black man to have that type of foundation. And it's funny because one of my friends, Lucky, he told me to instill that in him early. He said, D, he's getting big and he's getting, he's going to need more. So go ahead and give him that responsibility.
Yes.
And I think that was the best advice that I could have gotten. Because I've been a female all my life. I've never been a man, so I don't know what you have to do in the beginning.
That was some good advice, and it sounds like he's well on his way to being a successful, positive, and productive citizen in this county.
Yes.
So
now, if I can keep him off the game, the PlayStation.
Now that's a job in itself, right there.
That is a job in itself.
I certainly understand how that could be difficult.
Yes.
All right. Well, let me ask you this: do you have any upcoming projects or anything in the pipeline that you care to share with the public, or is it something secretive, or outside of being able to catch you on on TV?
Well, let me see. Uh, any projects? I don't have anything for Dana per se. I'm working on my blog though,
Okay.
and that's the Single Married Widow. And so what we do is basically talk about relationship topics and things like that. A lot of people don't believe, but I do have people that reach out to me to ask me questions or to say, well, put this on your page and get people's advice, or I got a question for you, put this out, or they will inbox me and all this stuff. So that's I'm trying to develop that a little bit more.
Yes.
I love to talk about relationships, and through some things that I've been through in my life, I think that I'm very open-minded when it comes to a lot of different things.
Yes.
So people don't mind confiding in me about whatever they have going on. So that's called the Single Married Widow.
Okay. Is it kind of therapeutic in being able to put out the topics and watch people ask questions or respond back to it?
It is therapeutic. Being that I was married, we were married 6 years before my husband passed, and we were together for almost 12 years. We had a wonderful relationship. Now, I'm not saying it's perfect. It was not perfect. It was far from it.
Yes.
But we had a really good relationship. So in talking to people about their relationships, hearing some of the things that I hear, I appreciate him more. I appreciate my upbringing a little bit more, and I can see a lot of the differences in some of the role models or people that I had in my life.
Yes.
That some people don't have. So I use that also to educate and to help people if they will allow me to help them. Now, I'm not a relationship guru, and I don't plan to be. I don't, I let people know that this is for entertainment.
Yes.
I'm not, I'm not licensed in any of it. But I do give a lot of the advice from my heart. And I think that some of my friends and followers on social media give some of the advice from their heart as well.
That's good. I mean, I don't think that you actually have to be an expert on stuff like that. I mean, as long as y'all can come together, anybody can come together and actually fellowship and actually speak their minds and everything. I think that's an excellent form in being able to do something like that. Well, Miss Dana, let me ask you this particular question, because I'm kind of curious about this myself.
Go for it. Go for it. I'm an open book.
All right. With all the things that you have your hands in, where would you like to see yourself in the next 5 years?
Oh man,
I know. I'm
not
sorry.
that question.
I'm
Not
sorry.
that question.
I had to ask.
Let me see. I was gonna get ready and go live right quick, but I won't.
That's fine.
You know what? In 5 years, honestly, I would actually like to see my business expand a little bit more. As we've been talking, and I hope that the listeners will be able to understand that I'm stretched very thin.
From that schedule, yes.
I am stretched very thin, so I would like to get a couple more account reps to help me and help us with the businesses that we serve.
Yes.
And take on some of those responsibilities so that I can kind of sort of enjoy life a little bit more.
Understood.
So in 5 years, I see myself with other account reps. I've done business really nationwide. I've had the opportunity to do business with clients in California, Atlanta, Virginia, Texas, things like that. So maybe it's in the cards for me to open another firm in another state. I don't know.
Sounds like a possibility.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy what I do, and I enjoy meeting new people and networking. So it may be in the cards. I mean, and right now, that's all I can see. I can't say anything about, marriage or, because right now it's looking kind of bleak.
Oh, no, I doubt that.
Trust me, it is.
I doubt that at all. Let me ask you this. Well, not really ask you this, but let me put you in a situation where I start off by saying this: you're a positive role model, and to my female audience that's actually listening that want to actually follow their dreams, and it seems like that's what you've been doing up to this point. What advice would you give to them to stay on track to follow their dreams? Is there anything that you could tell them so they could actually keep doing that?
Yeah, actually, my advice would be to stick with it. It's a lot of hard work that you have to put into being your own business owner. Being an entrepreneur, or brand, starting your own brand. So I would tell them just to keep at it,
Okay.
and not to see other people and what they're doing and try to compare themselves to that person.
Understood.
In this world, a lot of things people think a lot of things are given to them, handed to them, or it's microwave. And I've been in business for 8 years. It'll be 8 years in August. And I'm grateful to my journey, and I would not want to have had anything handed to me. But a lot of people do want that,
And I think that's important to hear. I think that's really important to hear, especially with some of the youth now.
Oh yes, oh my gosh.
Anything that comes with success, you got to actually work for it. And like I said, you are the beaming example of that.
Thank you. I mean, and you have to just look at it like this. Flowers are beautiful, but without the mud, they would not even be around to be beautiful. The mud is what makes them beautiful. They have to grow from that mud.
Yes.
So I just tell people all the time, and that would be my advice to someone that's wanting to start. Just don't stop. Just do it. Just do it.
Absolutely. Well said.
And I hate to be cliche about it, but
that hits it straight to the point.
yes.
Well, the people that's out here listening to you, if they want to use some of any of your services, as well as actually follow you, or if they have questions or want to reach out to you with some of the things that you're actually involved in, how can they follow you or get in contact with you?
I think the easiest way is to find me at Motivation Marketing. The website is motivationmarketingfirm.com. And on Instagram, we're at Motivation MKTG, and that's Twitter as well. And that's M as in Mary, K as in Kite, T as in Tom, G as in Greg. Marketing is abbreviated, Motivation Marketing. And for those that want to follow me on my relationship journey, not mine, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
Find me on Instagram, The Single Married Widow. And I think that's about it.
Okay. Well, Dana, I appreciate you coming out to join me today. It has been informative, it has been fun, and a great experience to actually hear and see some of the stuff that I've seen you do and research that you've been doing as well.
Thank you for having me. I really do appreciate the opportunity.
All right, thank you. Until next time, fam. 2 weeks from now, stay tuned.
Ciao.